Okay, so going back to replay one of the previous days, we're here talking with Signa again. Where do you acquire your flowers from, if I may ask? Normally I gather them from the wild. Last week I found these chrysanthemums on the city limits. And that's the same place I discovered this monk's hood. But since it's still winter, I have to buy a lot of my flowers from merchants who travel to Italy and the Netherlands. That's how I acquired the rose. What can you tell us about this particular merchant? Not a lot, monsieur. He's just an old man who passes through Paris a few times a year, selling his goods and wares. I see. No chance of him being a super secret assassin? No, monsieur. Did you want to ask something else? Okay, we already asked about Juan, but she seems to know something, but this time we'll just we'll let it slide. I understand, mademoiselle. If you remember anything specific, please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. Did you want anything else? That's all. Thank you for your time, mademoiselle. Oh, hold on, monsieur. Before you leave, are you sure you don't want to buy some flowers? I'll even cut you a deal. Only 10 francs for this assortment of chrysanthemums and monk's hoods. 10 francs for flowers? That's a little steep. Steep? Monsieur, I challenge you to find cheaper flowers in January. Alright, I'll take some. They can brighten up the office. Thank you very much, monsieur. Here you go. I don't claim to be a flower expert or anything, but chrysanthemums and monk's hoods are a weird choice. I suppose it is a bit strange, isn't it? The other flower sellers stick to popular, dull flowers like tulips and roses. But I like these particular flowers because they're rebellious. I'm sorry, the flowers are rebellious? They stick it out and manage to bloom in the middle of January. The flowers fought nature. They overcame insurmountable odds. It's quite an amazing thing to see. I think I get it. You don't need to humor me. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not at all. This has been a pleasant discussion. Have a good day, mademoiselle. And you, messieurs. Okay, so that went a lot better than previously. I don't think I'll bother at the chocolate emporium until we get some more suspects. Man, we're in such a tight spot. I believe this is the last day before the trial, but now going to R&M is going to take a day, and we haven't gone to the chocolate emporium yet to ask about who bought that chocolate bar, assuming the chocolate bar isn't a red herring. But let's tell Mousy the birds have flown south. Ooh, customers. Hello, is this the office of Renard Volpes? Ah, it's you two. So what are you doing here? This is where I work. Yeah, we got this part. We have a message for you. It's from Prince Juan himself. He wants to know if the birds have flown south for the winter, whatever that means. Oh, yes, the birds have migrated successfully. But if Prince Juan told you that, then that must mean he trusts you. He must want you to take these. Go on, take them, take them. These are used train ticket stubs. It looks like 2 people took a railway trip to Vienna. What exactly is the point of this, Mousy? Prince Juan said they'd help with the trial. See the names? See the names? Privateer Signe. Nicole Signe. I recognize the surname, but I don't know who those people are. Her parents, probably. Neither do I, really. Monsieur, I mean, Prince Juan just told me to book train tickets for these people, and then make sure they caught the train. And so, that's what I did. Strange. I'm not sure how exactly those stubs are supposed to help with the trial, but I'll keep hold of them just in case. Let's go. I'm done playing Courier. Although I must say, you are a very lazy detective. You only visit one location per day. Phoenix Wright would visit wherever he has to in one day. Well, I still don't know if we have enough evidence. This is definitely very different, the way the investigations work. Once again, Falcon and Sparrowson find themselves waiting outside the doors of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. Feeling nervous, Falcon? Don't go silent on me now. Senor Falcon, I trust everything is in order. Absolutely. I have every intention of bringing the truth to light in this trial. Ah, such confidence. That's magnificent to see. And bringing the truth to light, you say. An admirable goal. No more jousting and imaginary giants. Oh, you cease your yammer. The door's opening. Before we go, buena suerte, Senor Falcon. We will. Are we ready? We're ready. I hope. JJ. Severin. Nervous. Why would I be nervous? Not nervous. I'm calm as a cuckoo. You're the nervous one. This whole courtroom's nervous. Well, cool your feathers, Falcon. Terrible. You can't even maintain a stoic facade. Thought this trial would be the perfect opportunity for you to redeem your previous embarrassments. But if this is how you act before the trial's even started... Why, you pompous-tailed, posture-perfect... Oh, are you the judge? Judge Romulus? Okay, you're a little bit more, imposing than the Stork guy. Order, order, let's settle down. Court is now in session. Psst, Falcon? What is it? Is it me or does the primary judge look hairier today? It's a different judge to the one who presided over Dame Caterlin's trial, you doofus. Oh, still, it's a little strange, isn't it? I mean, aside from the music getting more ominous, that's probably the most concerning part for me. It is a little, I suppose. Excuse me, Your Honor. I was under the impression that Judge Maxime would be presiding over the case. Where's he? Judge Maxime has gone on temporary sick leave due to a terrible accident with a flight of stairs. Really, fell down the stairs. But rest assured, assessors, prosecutor, defense, and members of the jury, that I am more than qualified to fill his shoes. Without further ado, let's get the show underway. This is the trial of Prince Juan Quierdo, who stands accused of murdering Major Howell and of conspiring to murder the king himself. Roll call. The defense is present and ready, Your Honor. And the prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Good. Very good. I expect this to be a nice, speedy trial. I don't want to see this dragged out by technicalities and bureaucracy. Well said, Your Honor. I expect that once the court sees the overwhelming evidence, this trial will be over in 5 minutes. Wasn't that a promise Edgeworth made in Phoenix Wright as well? This trial will be over in 5 minutes. 5 minutes. He's just messing with your head, Falcon. Keep it together. So we're all on the same page. Excellent. Prosecutor, please call your first witness to the stand. Very well. I call the police officer who investigated the crime scene. I call upon Inspector Juice Valerti. Step up to the stand, Inspector, and recite the oath. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Please recite your name and occupation for the court record. My name is Inspector Juice Valerti. I am a servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rats. That will do, Inspector. We've heard your monologue before. Wow, Kokoriko's really going for speed record, isn't he? Now, can you tell us what you witnessed the morning of the 7th of January? Of course. At 10 o'clock in the morning, I was called to the Louvre's Grand Gallery by one of the King's Royal Guards. Did he just say o'clock? There, I saw Prince Juan, King Louis Philippe, the corpse of Major Howell with a rose in his hand, and around 24 citizens. The citizens and the king himself all attest to seeing Major Howell taking the rose from Prince Juan's hand, and then promptly dropping dead. And what did the morgue uncover upon examination of the corpse? The coroner determined with absolute certainty that Major Howell died of poisoning. Aside from a prick upon the finger, there was no sign of external harm to Major Howell's body. Therefore, the poisoned rose must have been the cause of death. Putting the pieces together, that does seem very implicative of the prince. I have no further questions. Damn, I was hoping the coroner's report would determine that the guy died from a freak heart attack or something. That'd make for a particularly speedy trial, wouldn't it? But no, we aren't so lucky. Something else must be amiss in the old bird's testimony. Right, I'll tear it apart. Your Honor, I wish to begin cross-examine the witness. Falcon, wasn't it? Don't waste the court's time. A high-ranking police officer would never lie on the witness stand. I wouldn't accuse the inspector of lying. I just want to make sure that every base is properly covered. This sounds like pointless nitpicking to me, but I'll allow it. For now. Go on, Falcon. Do your cross-examination. Statement should we... Rose in hand. 10 in the morning. I don't know if... any of this is important. I don't think there's anything... Should we press the part about the poisoning? Inspector, you say that the coroner determined with certainty that Major Howell was killed by poison. Correct. He stated that the signs and symptoms were textbook. There is no possibility that his death was natural. Did the coroner mention specifically what kind of poison it was? He was not certain. At first the coroner posted that it was a plant-borne poison like that of the aconite flower. But when he learned how fast the poison had taken effect, he noted that this was atypical of aconite. Consequently, he suggested it may have been some newly engineered concoction. A newly engineered poison, you say? Well, that only reaffirms that this was a very deliberate assassination attempt. Indeed. Do you have another question about the poison? How exactly was Major Howell poisoned? What was the delivery mechanism? His finger was pricked by the poisoned rose. He even commented out loud about it seconds before dying. All 22 citizens who witnessed the murder attested to seeing and hearing this. Is there any possibility he was poisoned by something else? What an absurd thing to ask, JJ. You just heard that 22 people saw the victim prick his finger and die. What are you suggesting? The pricked finger had no relation to the poisoning? It's not much, but it's all we have to go on right now. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't doubt that Major Howell was poisoned, but I do doubt that the rose was the cause. Unbelievable. Only a total buffoon could fail to draw the blatant link here. JJ, it's tempting us to sit here and lecture you on the basics of cause and effect. I'll end this discussion painlessly. Inspector, please tell the defense that you found traces of poison on the thorns of the rose itself. That should alleviate all doubt that the rose was in fact the poison delivery mechanism. Actually, I can't tell him that. They didn't find poison on the rose. I dread to ask, but why not? We didn't check the rose for traces of poison. It just seemed obvious that the rose caused the poison, given the timing of the incident. Well, then now would be a good time to make a test. Here's a marvelous thought. We prick the finger of the defendant with the rose. If there's no poison on the rose, then Prince Juan lives, and he's free to go. If the rose is poisoned, then the prince dies, but that's okay, because the punishment would be just and fitting of the crime. A marvelous suggestion. What is this, a witch trial? This isn't America, Severin. That's not how we do things here. Calm your feathers, JJ. It was clearly a joke. There are far more humane ways of testing for poison. I'm sure the inspector will perform his duty with due diligence. Actually, we won't be able to test the rose for poison at all. Why is that? Given the dangerous nature of the flower, it was destroyed by the police force. We burned it to ashes. Such unprofessionalism. If we have no way to know whether the rose was poisoned, this whole trial ought to be called into question. Nice try, JJ, but through the process of reasoning by elimination, we can still deduce with absolute certainty that the rose was poisoned. In other words, there was nothing else at the crime scene that could have caused the poisoning. Wrong. There was something else at the crime scene that could have contained poison. Something the investigative police blindly overlooked. The chocolate. Look at this. What am I supposed to be looking at? It's the paper wrapper to a piece of chocolate. It was found in the Louvre, the Salle du Tibre to be precise, and we can date its consumption to the day of the incident. You're not suggesting that Major Howell ate a piece of poisoned chocolate moments before he died? I most certainly am. Good. So far we're hanging in there. Did you see this wrapper at the crime scene for yourself, Inspector? The police force doesn't have the time nor resources to trawl every piece of trash at every crime scene, I'm afraid. In other words, you overlooked it. Astounding unprofessionalism. The prosecution's right to be disgusted. What a disgraceful display, Inspector. I offer my apologies, Your Honor. I love how the judge is a wolf and the prosecution and the officer they're testifying are chickens. I don't want your apologies. I want you to do your damn job properly. Get off the witness podium before I kick you off myself. As you wish, I'll take my leave. Until next time, messieurs. So let me get this straight. This chocolate wrapper was found at the crime scene. Correct. And you have reason to believe it was consumed on the day of the incident? I do. I have an expert food tasting witness who's willing to testify if need be. You have a foodie witness? I don't recall anyone like that. Who on earth are you talking about, Falcon? Shut up, he means you. Oh, I see. But do you know for certain that Major Howell consumed this chocolate? Well, it is a fact we are still investigating. I see. And do you have evidence that this chocolate was, in fact, poisoned? Again, that is something that may require a little more time to definitively prove. So in actuality, you don't have evidence that Major Howell consumed poisoned chocolate. Instead, you have a solitary piece of rubbish that you plucked straight out of the gutter. That's weak even for you, JJ. Let's move things along. I have another witness I'd like to summon. He's a man who claims to have had an excellent view of the people going in and out of the Louvre at the time of the incident. I call upon Monsieur Toussaint Kingley. Have we met this person before? I don't think we have. No, we haven't. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. All right, the oath. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Please state your full name and occupation for the court record. My name is Toussaint Kingley, and I'm a person who fishes. A person who fishes. So you're a fisherman? Oh, that's how it is. I thought the French justice system was better than this. I beg your pardon. Here comes Toussaint Kingley, the kingfisher. Clearly he must be a fisherman because, didn't you hear, all kingfishers are fishermen. Well, you are carrying a fishing rod. And, can a man not carry a fishing rod, reel, and bait without being branded as a fisherman? Look, the prosecutor's carrying a riding crop. Clearly he must be a horse jockey. Oh, for pity's sake. Fine, we can list your occupation as person who fishes and not fisherman. Thank you. Actually, why do you carry a riding crop, Severin? I've never seen you ride a horse. You don't know, JJ. Why do you, a 30-something-year-old with no health problems, carry a cane? This is veering quite far off the course. Could the prosecution please get back to his questions? Of course, Your Honor. Monsieur Kingley, is it true that you were nearby the Louvre at the time of the incident? Yes, I was sitting upon a railing at the Pont des Arts. The Pont des Arts. That's the new bridge. It's just a stone's throw from the Louvre's south entrance, correct? That's right. And what were you doing at the time of the incident? I was fishing. Kingfishers, am I right, Falcon? So you would have plenty of opportunity to see the people who entered and exited the palace. Can you tell us who you saw? Well, the Louvre's a busy place. Naturally, I saw a lot of people. But at 9 a.m., I saw the king, Louis Philippe himself, enter the building. He was surrounded by his entourage, of course. Then, around 9:30 a.m., I saw this shifty-looking fox lurking around the entrance. Your Honor, I object to the witness's use of the term shifty-looking. It's vague and biased description. No, really, he looked super shifty. I saw him rubbing his paws and cackling gleefully. Saw him take out a rose and carefully rub the stem. Rub the stem of a rose, you say? As if you're applying something to the flower, perhaps. Well, monsieur, I really shouldn't speculate. Of course, it's wrong with me to ask such a leading question. Right. Yeah, it definitely looked like he was putting some sort of powder on the stem. Wow, even I wasn't expecting such a bold admission. Members of the court, it sounds like what we have here is a direct witnessing of the defendant readying the murder weapon. The defense claims the rose was never poisoned, yet here we have a man who saw the poison with his own eyes. I smell perjury. Yeah, me too. You do? No question. He saw a shifty-looking criminal rain poisoning and cackling near the scene of the crime? That's not believable at all. I think you might be right. What if I have any evidence that calls Toussaint's story into doubt? I believe I do. Your Honor, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. Really? This nonsense again? You just heard the witness directly describe your client readying poison on a rose. What is there to question? Just trying to cover the truth, Your Honor. Fine, do your thing. Go on, Falcon. Go make a fool out of yourself. He said the Pont des Arts was... Okay, that doesn't matter. It was at the south entrance, but we have evidence that Juan was at the west entrance. Monsieur Kingsley, you say you were sitting upon the railings of the Pont des Arts on the morning of the incident. Yep. What entrances can you see from that bridge? Monsieur Kingsley, you had a good view of the Louvre's south entrance, didn't you? Yep, the Pont des Arts is a great vantage point for seeing the Grand Gallery's south side. What about the other entrances? The other entrances? I mean, like, if you were entering from Tuileries Gardens or Place du Carrousel? No, I couldn't possibly see those areas from the bridge. But of course, that isn't relevant. Monsieur Kingsley witnessed Prince Juan entering the south entrance with flower in hand, and that's what counts. What if Prince Juan didn't enter from the south entrance? What if he approached the Louvre from... Tuileries Gardens to the west? That's a big what if. Do you have any evidence that Prince Juan entered the Louvre from the Tuileries Gardens? As a matter of fact, yes I do. I have definitive proof that Prince Juan approached from the west, not the south. Hey, I know what I saw, monsieur. I'm doubtful too. Go on, JJ. Show this definitive proof that Prince Juan entered the Louvre from Tuileries Gardens. This was... Look at this. A book page. Page 44 of Don Quixote, specifically. It was found just outside the Louvre's west entrance. And that proves nothing. I'm not done yet. Take a look at this. Don Quixote. This is the book Prince Juan had been reading in jail since his arrest. I believe he had it on his person for some time. And yes, page 44 is missing. That was the first thing I checked. You do realize what this means, don't you, Severin? The defendant was present in Tuileries Gardens prior to entering the Louvre. This also means that in all likelihood, the defendant entered the Louvre from the west entrance, not the south. He cannot possibly have been seen by Monsieur Kingsley from the Pont des Arts. What? I know what I saw, monsieur. A fine theory, Falcon, but maybe the defendant took the long way around. One can still travel from Tuileries to the Louvre's south entrance by walking along the river. An extra 2 kilometers of walking just to enjoy the pre-murder scenery? Let's not say silly things, Kokoriko. Okay, maybe the defendant deliberately left the page there to mislead the investigation. Now you're the one who's blindly speculating. It's not blind speculation, it's a viable hypothesis. You're fond of logic, aren't you, Kokoriko? Let's talk about Occam's razor. When torn between two seemingly equal hypotheses, we must side with the one that imposes the fewest assumptions. Which of these theories takes fewer assumptions? 1. The page from Prince Juan's book fell out on his way to the Louvre's south entrance. 2. Prince Juan deliberately planted the page on the off chance that it'd be discovered, then he took the long way around. How dare you, the nerve of you to lecture me on such basic philosophical concepts. I'll stop lecturing you and stop making such basic mistakes. Monsieur Falcon, please calm yourself. What is the point of all this yammering? The ultimate point is that Toussaint's testimony is fabricated, made up, utter fiction. No, everything I said is the truth. I suspect the witness isn't even a fisherman. I'm not a fisherman. See, he admits it himself. That's not what I meant. Okay, this is going pretty well so far. Prosecutor, you have something that'll put this arrogant Falcon in his place, don't you? I must concede. You concede? On this point, at least. Falcon's evidence strongly suggests the key component of Monsieur Kingsley's testimony is false. No! This doesn't mean Prince Juan is innocent, of course. All Falcon has demonstrated is that this particular witness is unreliable. But I did see something. I really did. Alright, so maybe I didn't exactly see a shifty-looking fox. I made that part of the story up. But I did see a swan lurking around the south entrance on the morning of the murder. Swan? Do shut up, witness. Your word is mud at this point. How can we possibly trust anything you have to say? Your Honor, Judge Romulus, we're out of time. We're 10 minutes overdue to start the Hare versus Torrance trial. It's that late already? Curses, I was hoping we could have the case wrapped up in a single trial session. It is a shame, but ultimately an accurate sentencing is always preferable to a speedy sentencing. True that. Yes, alright. Don't need to hear your moralizing. Court will resume this Friday, the 21st, at 9 o'clock. Don't be late. Prosecutor, do your damn job. Get this stupid fox a conviction already. I'll do my best to ensure that justice is served, Your Honor. Lot came up in the trial, huh? Yeah, no doubt about that. But something's bothering me. Why would that fisherman guy, Monsieur Kingsley, lie on the witness stand? Either he was coerced, or... Well, it's possible he was coerced or bribed. It's just what I was thinking. Maybe the real murderer threatened the fisherman into making up a story about Prince Juan. Just keep an open mind. Anything's possible at this stage. But to be perfectly honest, something else is bothering me about the trial. Judge Romulus, he's acting without a shred of professionalism. He's obviously more interested in securing a guilty verdict than he is in discovering the truth. But why? Maybe he has a vendetta against Spanish royalty. I'm not so sure. There must be something else at work here. Excuse me? Sorry to bother you, but this letter just arrived. I think it's for you. A letter from me? I wonder why I wasn't sent to my office. Have you been demoted to courier status, Rupert? Oh, hush, hush, Sparrowsit. I don't need to be pitied by a first-year dropout. Oh, good comeback. So what's the letter say, Falcon? It's a threat. threat made with cut-out newspaper letters. Oh, I didn't know those things actually existed. Let me see. Falcon, stop your investigation or there will be consequences. Scary. There's no question this letter originated from Major Howell's murderer. He or she must be aware that we're getting close to uncovering the truth. Sounds about right, but why would a person write with cut-out newspaper letters like this? Masking one's handwriting would be the most common reason. Although I can't help but wonder why they would bother since we don't have any handwriting samples to compare it to. Still going ahead with our investigation though, right? Absolutely. Oh yes, absolutely. If a lawyer were deterred every time they received a threatening letter, they'd never get any work done. Besides, with only 3 days before the next trial session, we can't afford to be worrying about petty things like this. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wow, you're right. Let's make those days count. Well then, with that, I think we need to see if we can figure out what to investigate next. I'll see you guys then.
I'm playing a game.